Hi, and welcome to our July 2014 Toronto Real Estate Market Report. July sales were the second highest ever, repeating what happened in June. I'll comment more on that in this broadcast as we go through the market report. So, let's review some of the Toronto Real Estate Board statistics and see what this is all about. Sales were 10% above average for July, with 9,198 houses and condominiums changing hands in all the districts. Condo townhouse and high-rise suite share of the market increased slightly to 31.6%, with 2,904 units being sold. The July average sale price for all GTA homes came in at $550,700, up 7.3% from 2013. The active listing inventory is one of the strongest indicators of how smooth or outrageous the market's going to be. We had a 7.2% decline in inventory for the month of July compared to historical numbers, and lower by 4.7% from last year at this time. The sales to listings, or percent chance of selling ratio, is how we determine what type of market we're actually in. 24 to 28% is a neutral market, below 24 is a buyer's market, and above 28% is a seller's market. In July, that ratio finished at 47%, up 6% from last year's market dip. By the numbers, the overall market is in busy seller market territory. The days on market average for the entire Toronto Real Estate Board was 24, 1 day slower than in June. Although the listing numbers are down compared to historical numbers, inventories are slowly improving, giving more choice to serious buyers, and requiring sellers to be reasonable and not overzealous in the pricing strategy. So let's look at what's happening in the downtown Toronto condo market. West of Yonge and south of Bloor in the CO1 Treb district, the average sale price for July was just over $441,000. That number represented a modest 4.9% increase from the same time last year. With 369 condo sales in the month, the numbers were up 24% compared to 2013. The ratio of sales to listings stepped up to 24.9%, which put CO1 back into neutral market territory once again. The average days on market came in at 32, which was 2 days slower than in June. Now, east of Yonge and south of Bloor in the CO8 Treb district, the average sale price for July was just under $438,000. That number represented an 8.5% increase from July of 2013. And with 139 condo sales in the month, the numbers were up 7% compared to last year. The ratio of sales to listings dropped back to 39.9% from 49% in June. That number puts CO8 into moderate seller market territory. The average days on market came in at 28, 4 days slower than in June. To summarize, in CO1 west of Yonge, a year-over-year 16% increase in listings, just over 200 units, resulted in an increase of 71 sales. Expect a continued surge in listings, sales, and rentals in the coming months as more brand new buildings take occupancy. In CO8 east of Yonge, which is less than 20% of the overall downtown condo inventory compared to CO1, listings dropped 13%, while sales increased by 7%. This is one of the reasons why the average sale price increased so much from 2013. So there are just 3 prime variables when choosing what home to buy. And of course there are lots of mini variables like number of bedrooms, finished basement, or view, but the big 3 are price, location, and condition. Most of us are limited by price, by the amount of down payment we've saved combined with the size of mortgage that we feel comfortable paying monthly. This sets an upper price point that typically can't be exceeded. Now that price has been determined, the other 2 factors come into play. What neighborhoods can we find houses or condos that fit into that price point and yet allow us to achieve our mini variables too? What compromises are we willing to make with regard to those other must-haves and would-likes which would allow us to get the home we want? Your RE/MAX Hallmark buyer agent can set you up on an initial home search to give you a feel for what's available in the neighborhoods and price range of your choice. So, what's the best way to make your first baby step into Toronto's real estate market? Make a call or send an email to your favorite RE/MAX Hallmark professional. and set up a conversation over a coffee to discuss what your buying and selling options going forward might be. Remember to check back here in early September for our August Toronto real estate market report.